Hello. I'm so glad to be here. I have a question I've wanted to ask you for a while. I was a pretty ambitious kid, and it was intense, that experience. And so by the time I became an adult, I think I decided to let it go. I made a conscious decision to let go of ambition.
Do you think you were, we're going to interrupt just briefly. Do you think that ambition without consciously utilizing the leverage of the universe is harder?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
And so we don't think you were letting go of ambition or desire. We think you were letting go of resistance. Maybe we would like to redefine ambition.
That's what I want to ask.
Because ambition seems to be, as it starts lighting up around the planet, as people are considering it, what ambition feels like energetically to people is focusing upon desire with plenty of resistance added to the mix, which then makes it necessary to work hard in order to accomplish. Yes, you're not using the leverage. Ambition doesn't need to mean that, but it's like the word love. It means lots of different squirrely things that you don't mean for it to mean when you offer it. It activates a lot of things. So rather than using a word like ambition, why not say, I've decided to leave behind my desire that was laced with resistance and just keep my pure desire?
Well, that sounds lovely.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? And we can feel a big buck coming up.
I'm very happy.
Yes.
And I found this middle where I'm real happy, which means the years have gone by with these desires that I really want. I'd love to get ambitious about and complete them. But it feels like running a marathon. I get to the last point.
Here's the thing. You can't put anything in your vortex. It doesn't peter out. It's in there.
No. And it will happen. I know it's getting there. I do know. I just would like it to happen a little quicker. And yet I'm content with where I'm at. So if you could...
But you can't have it both ways.
Can I?
And you can't have it both ways in this sense. You can't say, here's what you are saying. There is this that I want,
yes,
but the price was too great.
Too high.
And so I set it aside, but I still really want it.
I do.
But there's still resistance there that this grid work may help to dissipate a bit for you. Do you believe, we know you do because you jumped in quickly when we began talking about, do you believe that your vortex contains the vibrational version of all of the successes that you've been reaching for?
Already.
Do you believe that all that is required for the path to start filling in is for you to just stop doing whatever you've been doing that has kept it from coming? Think that it was your conscious decision for it not to come. Here's what happened.
Okay.
You wanted something that wasn't coming, so you covered up caring about it not coming with words that you don't mean. I didn't have wanted. But when you use the word ambition, it's like you're saying, I stopped hitting my head against the wall because it wasn't working out for me anyway, so I decided I might as well stop trying so hard. But now time has gone by, and I still want those things, but I don't want them enough to start hitting my head against the wall again.
Yes.
And we say, new plan.
Good,
Because hitting the head against the wall wasn't working anyway. So it's good to give that up. It was a good decision to give that up. And this is what we started to say to you. You can't release your desires. Once you put them there and the source within you becomes the expanded version of them, in order to have the true happiness that you want, you have to find alignment with them. So you have no choice. This is really what we want to say to you, lovingly and gently. You have no choice. You cannot give up your own ambition.
Oh,
because what true ambition is stuff you put in the vortex, which must be realized. That's really good.
So ambition can be a good thing.
Ambition is what's in your vortex that's not ever going away. And the only way you can ease the strain of not achieving what you have felt ambitious about is to let it in. You got to stop holding it out.
Oh, I'm holding it out.
You're holding it out with awareness that it isn't there, with decisions that you don't want to work that hard again. Haven't all of you said that? I can really turn on the speed. I can really make things happen. I can really bang things into place. I can shine in a crisis. I can get straight A's. I can be valedictorian. I can get all the marks on the chart. I can fulfill everyone's dream who is around me. I can do everything that everybody wants me to do until I hate them all and don't want to. Until I feel myself with resentment because I'm not engaging the leverage of source to assist me. That's what we meant. And everything that we're talking about here grid-wise, in other words, just start in that more general place. So this is what we would do if we were standing in your physical shoes. I know that my desires are valid and real, and I know that they have not gone away. And while it may feel like they've dissipated a little bit, because when we're going to take a little aside here, someone said to us one day, we were having a discussion about desires, and we said, well, what do you want? And this person couldn't come up with anything easily. So we started naming things that we knew this person wanted. And she said, oh no, Abraham, I've already got that. I've already got that. Oh no, I don't want that. I've already got that. And what she was pointing out was that she had come to recognize a feeling of yearning as a feeling of desire. She had got so accustomed to wanting something that wasn't, that just the idea of a desire felt uncomfortable to her. A lot of people are like that. You think that to want it, it has to hurt a little bit. And we're talking about pure desire. That's why we're going back to the basis, back to the grid. Pure desire. Because everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it anyway, you see. So we'll start again. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the way we would approach this is by acknowledging that everything that I want is valid, and that there is a comfortable path to the unfolding of it, and that it is the unfolding path, the comfortable unfolding path that it was all about anyway. In other words, all these ambitions, all these things that are swirling in your vortex, waiting for you to find the vibrational place that allows them to flow comfortably and easily and perfectly into your experience. All of those things that you want are because you believe you will feel better in the having of them. But we want you to understand it's the comfortable filling in of the grid that you're looking for, not the fulfillment of any one of those manifestations.
And yeah, that's it. But then I do want to accomplish some things. It feels like I'm running the race and I see the finish line and go, oh, I'm done. I see it. I could do it. But then it leaves this sort of unfinished place. And it's not necessary to have.
Well, it's not necessary either to run a race and there is no finish line. In other words, both of those things are true relative to this process of creating. There is no finish line because you're never going to stop having enough experience to make you want a little bit more clarity to fill in, a little bit more. You can't turn that off. And running the race is part of that ambitious feeling that you were talking about, where there's that sort of resistance that is laced into it. We know that for most of you, as we're visiting about this grid, it has to be a bit tiresome, first of all, to keep repeating the same thing over again, that you're not actually able to get your thoughts around completely. But if you will just play with this today or tomorrow, get a notebook and just sit by yourself with no one else around and write some one or two emotional words and fixate on them. Just fixate on them. And we would start with words like fun or words like ease. And then just let your mind ponder them. Don't try to make anything happen and don't try to make thoughts come. Just ponder, what does fun mean to me? What do I mean by fun? What does fun feel like? That's a really good question. What does it feel like to be having fun? What's fun to me? What's fun? Then focus on the word ease. What does ease feel like to me? What does ease feel like? How does ease play out? Just really general. Don't try to bring other people into it. Don't try to make anything happen with it. Just focus there. And what will begin to happen after just a little while, we're talking about a minute or two, is more thoughts will begin to flow in around it. And as they come, don't run a marathon with them. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't get ambitious about it. Just let the word softly flow. Let them softly flow. It's almost a form of meditation, but it's better than meditation because it's consciously fixating on a vibrational frequency that once you let it begin to resonate within you, you will have conscious awareness of its attraction power. And that's really what this grid thing is about. It's about you recognizing your point of attraction, and even more, you taking control of your point of attraction. And most of you have been trying to take control of your life experience the hard way by fixating on a goal and trying to figure out how to accomplish it. And so you haven't engaged the leverage of the energy that creates worlds to support you. And that's why you get depleted. And that's why eventually you say, I'm going to give it up. Does that make sense to you? And then once you've done this for a day or two, everything that you heard us say here today will begin to make more sense to you. People like processes. You do. This book sold a lot of copies.
I haven't.
Rampage of appreciation. Process number 1. So let's apply rampage of appreciation to grid work. So what would happen to your grid if you were to focus upon someone? Esther chooses Kate. Kate is always Esther's easiest focal point if she wants to rampage appreciation. Kate is so much fun. She's looking for fun everywhere she is. She will say something funny to me, Grandma. Tell me a funny story. Remember when this funny thing happened, and this funny thing happened, and this funny thing happened, and this funny thing happened? She will bury her face in every flower that she can find. She will point out every flower that she can see. She points out every butterfly that's anywhere near her. She skips almost everywhere she goes. She's looking for some place to have fun. She's looking for something to engage in. She's looking for a nice thing to say to everyone who is around her. She is helpful in every possible way. It's not possible for Esther to focus upon Kate and not feel appreciation. And do you feel what she just did for her grid just now? So you have all kinds of things like that. The magical creation box. The creation box is a process where you get a box and you just tear out pictures of whatever things that please you and you put them in the box. Really good grid building. How would I feel if I lived in this house? Slow it way down for the grid exercise. How would it feel to live in this house? How would it feel to have this rug in that room? How would it feel to be standing in that body? In that body. How would that feel? How would that feel to be invited to the bikini contest? How would it feel? How would it feel to be standing in that body? How would it feel to be living in that relationship? In other words, just something that focuses, but do it from a feeling standpoint. Prosperity game. We already talked about that. In other words, what does it feel like? It feels like ease. Put $100 in your wallet and walk around in the day and acknowledge how it would feel to have that. I could have it if I wanted. Could take that home right now if I wanted. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? When we come back from segment refreshment, we'll play with this just a little bit more, because there are all kinds of processes that you've already been applying that if you will apply them from the standpoint of, I'm doing this because I want to consciously affect my point of attraction. I want to consciously activate at the basis of that which I am, this powerful grid. And then I get to watch, as soon as a few minutes from now, the grid beginning to fill in. You're going to begin to feel your power. You're going to begin to feel the power of your ability to create. You're going to begin to feel your influence of the universe. You're going to begin to feel your influence with others. You're going to begin to feel the power of you standing in alignment with who you are and the enormous difference that that makes in your point of attraction. You see, you're walking around all day and you've got stuff going on and things are being attracted to that which you've got going on. But when you deliberately align yourself with the energy of the source within you, now you've deliberately aligned yourself with everything in your vortex. You've deliberately aligned yourself with the power of all of the universal forces. You've aligned yourself with everyone who is non-physically focused with you. You've enhanced your point of attraction to the degree that everything in your world must be not just enhanced, dramatically enhanced. everything around you will revolve in a way that as others stand back and watch you, they will be amazed at what they see, because nobody should get to live a life like you're living when they're out there with all of their unrequited ambitions, you see. Good time for a segment of refreshing.